praising God like you're going crazy. Come on here and see what God does. Come on. Come on. Come on and praise him like you. Come on here. That's the way to do it. Y'all ain't clapping those hands. Good God Almighty. Look at here. Ain't God a good God? Yes. Ain't God a mighty good God? Yes. Ain't God a good God? Yes. I know you've been so good to me. Look at that. Y'all ain't clapping those hands. Come on. Let the Lord bless her. That's what God is doing right now. Ain't God a healer? Yes. Ain't God a healer? Yes. Ain't God a healer? Yes. You've been so good to me. Won't the Lord make a way for you?
Now, y'all, what the hell?
Everybody come on in. Yes. Everybody come on in. Yes. Grab you a friend. Yes. Welcome to Hurl T Live.
Now, y'all,
Everybody come on in. Everybody come on in. Everybody come on in. Everybody come on in. Leroy, Hurl T's about to dump this house. Dump this house. Leroy, dump this house. We about to dump this house. Dump this house. Can I let Leroy drive? Leroy, dump on, come on, dump on, talk about it, come on, talk about good news, come on, let's talk about it, bad news, come on, let's talk about it, cool swanky, come on, let's talk about it, come on, let's talk about it, cry loud, spell not, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. Come on, 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 come on. Let's have a good time. 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 Let's have a good time.
What's up, everybody? This your boy, your brother from another mother, none other than the one and the only me, Harold T. I'm that second to the last baby of Evelyn Turrentine AG, and guess what? She's still the queen of quartet. Yes, sir, Doc. Not only is she the queen of quartet, but she's the queen of my life because she is my mama, y'all. What the holy hell? I can't take it. Now, I can't take it. Now, we finna have a good one. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get in touch with Lottie. Call Dottie. Tell everybody that the Harold T Live is on. And guess what? He ain't by himself. He got the queen and he got old C-Cat up in here with him today. They gonna be coming in just... Yeah.
Hey, good morning.
So,
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
It just don't make no sense, Mama. It's just you and me and C-Cat, and then we about to have a good conversation and about to listen to some great old good gospel music. And I want to send a shout out to every mother out there today. I want to send a shout out to Mama Ann. I want to send a shout out to all my sisters and everybody that celebrates Mother Day. Let me say this, who deserve to be celebrated as a mother. Just because you gave birth to a child don't mean you deserve to be celebrated as a mother, because some of y'all mothers out there is straight ratchet. I mean, just and yeah, straight ratchet, you know, and boy, that's a whole conversation in itself. I want to give a shout out to my boy Gil to the hill with your bald head tail. What's up, Gil? And yeah, so yeah, we gonna talk about that, the sanctified ratchet mothers that get celebrated on today that don't deserve to be celebrated. But other than that, for all the rest of y'all out there, I want to say happy Mother's Day to you. And we're going to do it just like they do in church on Sunday morning when they give you a welcome. We want to welcome you once, welcome you twice, welcome you 3 times in the name of Jesus Christ. We want to say welcome, welcome, and then welcome again. How about that? And speaking of welcoming, 2 Sundays from now, we got something coming up. It's called a great celebration on May 28th. And we got this brother in here. He's finna talk about how he loved to tell the Lord, thank you. But I'm talking about Lil Roy and Revelations. You still got time to get a ticket. It's only $20 in advance. And you gonna hear something just like this here.
Thank you. I need you to get up out of your seats right now. And just lift those hands right now and say, Lord, I thank you. I thank you. Everybody just put those hands together right now.
This is one of the first songs that we began to recognize and realize who Lil Roy and Revelations was. Y'all need to check this out.
Y'all come on and help me.
Woohoo!
Oh, you know it. Woke up this morning, I was feeling fine. I had my health and strength and I was in my right mind. Looked out the window, I saw a brand new day. Told the Lord, thank you for making a way. For all the things He's done for me. Clearly as I can see. While I have to say I can breathe, I want to thank you. Is that all right? Wave your hands right now.
Now this is the song that you should have been playing for the last 2 weeks, Gil.
So good and doing all the things that
It's God, thank you.
woke me up early,
Lil Roy and Revelation, y'all.
started me
On their way back to the D. Ain't been here in a good long time.
just one more verse.
But they on their way.
Every day I look at the news, I tell myself it could have been me or you.
I want to send this out to my main man. Mary, Shawty.
Got a time working with you.
What up, Mary?
Barely can pay their ends a week. While I have a chance and I can breathe, I want to
Thank you.
being good. Everybody tell me
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. All of my sisters. My Nita, Shara, Tanya, Monique. Who did it? Yes, I did.
Columbia, South Carolina, I need y'all to make some noise.
Everybody turn up your radios. Turn it on 10.
Say, oh, oh, oh,
Let the world know that you're thankful today. That's Lil Roy and Revelation. Oh, it don't stop there, y'all, because he coming just like this, too. Ooh-wee. 2 weeks from today, it's going to be at the Quartet headquarters. Pastor Johnny Jordan
Y'all put those hands together.
This man right here.
The storms are
4:00 p.m.
raging in my life.
You ain't gonna want to miss him singing all his hits.
Stand by me.
$20 at the, well, that's in advance.
This Christian journey. I won't
Yeah, we gonna be celebrating Lady Sally Hamilton's radio broadcast.
stand by me.
It is sponsored, just in case y'all didn't know. It's sponsored by the Harold T. Live and One Voice.
Somebody wave your hand and tell us, oh Lord.
Shout out to you, Lady Sally Hamilton, and you too, Chris Moray. I know y'all niggers listening. Uh-oh. I love y'all. I can't take it.
The dangers rose from time to time. Oh, Lord, stand by me. Oh, Lord,
That's what you asked the Lord. Lord, stand by me.
this Christian journey, I want you to stand by me. Oh, Lord, by me. Stand
I want to send a shout out to Wayne Todd and Men Who Will, celebrating their anniversary today.
and the rain, through all
I hate I can't be there.
misery.
Mama is over there in West Memphis, Arkansas right now.
Oh, Lord,
I'm on my way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama,
stand by me. Can I just sing it just one more
and both of us are going to do ministry.
last week?
I'm going to be hanging out with Blessed by Foe. You know they're going to be there in June.
From time to time.
Well, we on our way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all, today to celebrate with Blessed by Foe. And Mama is over there
Christian journey, I won't
in West Memphis, Arkansas, getting ready to do ministry.
hold on by me.
But the 28th of May,
Stand
all of us are coming together. Me, Mama Ann, C-Can, the Queen of Quartet. And we gonna meet up with Lady Sally Hamilton. Yours truly is gonna be the MC, Master of Ceremony, the host.
oh Lord, everybody in the building,
Leroy gonna be rocking just like this, y'all.
clap those hands.
I want to send a shout out to my cousin,
Clap just a little bit.
the Reverend, the Pastor, and his lady, his only lady. I'm talking about Pastor Nelton
Can't wait,
and Lady Set. What the hell?
can't wait
Uh-oh.
a minute. Can't wait.
I was finna say Lady Sally. I meant Lady Tamara.
Stand by me.
I want to send this one out to the Shotters. JJ, this for you, bud. I love you, boy. Happy Mother's Day, Tamara. Kim Spivey. And all of the Lumpatrettes, a.k.a. Trumpalettes. I want to send a shout out to y'all. Happy Mother's Day to you. And a lot of you, if you still got a mother living, you should be able to say it just like this. Live Right and Revelation gonna be doing it like this.
Everybody, let's go to the country.
You better turn up that radio.
And treat
Turn up that cellular phone
me standing. You ought to tell somebody.
and tell somebody.
After all,
Woohoo!
things that I've been through. Oh Lord, after all,
I'm sitting here bouncing my head to it, y'all.
you
What you still?
I still got joy.
Yes, I die.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I still got
Joy.
May 28th,
after all.
4 o'clock sharp. You're going to be able to hear this live in concert. Just look for Lady Sally Hamilton for your tickets. That's the day we're going to be celebrating 21 years of Lady Sally Hamilton being on radio. Leroy and Revelation is coming to celebrate with her. And it's going to be rocking just like this, y'all.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Don't you know that I'm glad? I'm glad.
I still got joy.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I
Still got joy.
Through my ups and downs, every time I turn around.
Still got joy.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I still got joy. I wanna sing a verse right here. The devil, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But I told the devil that I'm going on with the Lord. Then he tried to make me change my mind by putting me under pressure. A whole lot of money and a lot of bribes, but I never gave up.
I never gave up.
I never gave in.
I never gave in.
I kept the faith, and I got
to make it in.
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
I'm glad.
Church, you know that I'm glad.
I'm glad.
Yes, I'm glad.
I'm glad.
My soul has been saved,
Come on, Leroy.
and I'm on my way.
I'm glad.
The devil's mad
I'm glad.
because he's Mr. Soul.
I'm glad.
Tina Harris, I better see your raggedy tail over there, too. Oh, and happy Mother's Day.
Another reason I'm glad.
I'm glad.
I love you, girl.
And strength.
I know you're listening.
My heart is fixed.
I still
got joy.
Everybody get ready.
Yes, I do. Yes,
Leroy about to dry this house.
I got
Just like he gonna do the 4th Sunday in May.
agree with me.
Check it out. Here we go.
Sing with me. I still got it. I still got joy.
I can't take it.
Devil thought he had me, but I sure got away. I got joy through my heartache. I got joy through my pain. Joy through my misery. I got joy through the rain. You can't make me doubt it, cause I know too much about him. He's been good to me, more than I can see.
Dry that house, Roy.
May not have a lot of gold, but I still got joy. I may not have a bank account that overflows, but I thank you, Lord. One thing I know,
I bet you Gil is over there right now in that studio,
down in my heart,
banging his head right now. Yeah, Gil, I see you, boy.
joy. It is my strength.
I know I could sing that. I could sing bass for them.
And they sure can't I still
I love you, Gil. Hey, Gil, I got another one for you, boy. Gil, this is just for you now. I'm gonna do this one just for you, Gil. Cause I know it's killing you that you can't be on radio today, but that's all right. Next Sunday, check this one out, Gil. This is gonna be just for you, and I'm gonna tell you this how Roy gonna murder that house on the 28th of May, just like this. He gonna do it like this.
I'm gonna do it like this, and I need y'all to put the devil under your feet when I say, oh, Dr. G.
Dr. G.
Say he made
Everything alright.
We gonna see Gil catch the Holy Ghost.
Dr. G.
We gonna tell the Holy Ghost to run a little slower so that Gil can catch up with it. Now I'm just playing. Gil already got him.
Said he would.
I love you, boy.
If I said I trust and believe,
West, y'all. Detroit, y'all better get ready. East side, west side, north side, south side. The place to be, May 28th, 4 p.m. sharp. 661 West 8 Mile Road, Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church. Pastor Johnny Jordan, Harold T in one voice. Gonna be sponsoring the radio celebration of Lady Sally Hamilton with our special guest headliner, the man himself, Lil Roy and Revelation. Gonna be rocking that house just like this, y'all. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap those hands. Let's make a joyful noise. Let's make a joyful noise. Let the whole world know you've been born again. You've been born again. Yes, I done. You've been born again. I'm gonna wash down in the blood. In the blood of the Lamb. I'm gonna wash down in the blood. In the blood of the Lamb. Blood of the Lamb. Blood of the Lamb. Little Roy and Revelation is gonna be there. The 4th Sunday in May. It's gonna be off the hinges, y'all. And for those of you that don't know, this is your boy, your brother from another mother, none other than the one and the only me, Harold T. I'm that second to the last baby of Evelyn Turrentine, AG, like I told you before. And guess what? She's still a queen of quartet. Speaking of that, I got my 2 girls up in here right now out of the 3. I got them up in here right now. Let me see if they ready or not. Here we come. Hey, C-Cat, are you there, lady?
Microphone check 1, microphone check 2.
Everybody give it up for the phenomenal C-Cat, a.k.a. Sandy Cat, a.k.a. Sandria.
Good morning.
She ain't the only one, but I got the queen of quartet being celebrated today as Mother's Day. She over there in, what you call that, West Memphis, Arkansas. I don't know if they went to the casino and paid their tithes over there to the casino. I can't take it.
I passed by that.
I can't take it. You show pass me.
I passed by there and waved.
I'm talking about none other than the queen herself, Evelyn Turrentine, AG.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. And y'all all together now say Happy Mother's Day,
Happy
Mama
Mother's
AG.
Day, Mother Evelyn Turrentine, G. They don't know how to. Hey, Mama, they don't know how to pronounce your name at all. How does it feel to be remote over there in? I keep wanting to say Little Rock, but you down the street from Little Rock, over there in West Memphis, Arkansas.
It feels good. I'm right out here over the Mississippi River.
Come on, now.
And you know that feels like home for me because St. Louis and is in Missouri, right on the Mississippi River. So I feel right at home here.
Yay! Speaking of that, you just mentioned, and I mentioned that song, Pass Me Not. But we've been playing a lot of drives of Lil Roy. But people don't know that Lil Roy got something that'll go a little something like this.
I don't want my daddy to be a well-known preacher and I still ignore him and God and still die and go to hell.
Ooh, Jesus. Mama, this is what's going to be happening May 28th. 2 weeks from
yeah,
today.
We're all looking forward to it. Excited. And we're sitting here, Sandy and I are sitting here talking about how awesome Lil Roy's ministry is, as young as he is, but his ministry is so awesome. And he writes these songs.
Yes, sir.
He puts these songs together. So that means it's in his heart. The ministry is in him, and we need to be there to see him on the fourth Sunday in May.
And this song here, that traditional song, Pass Me
I was
Not.
about to say, he's going to all us mamas now. He's going to all us old mamas.
Come on here. I want to dedicate this to all of the mothers out there. Lil Roy and Revelation to be here 2 weeks from today, May 28th, at the Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church. You know where it is. It's the new quartet headquarters.
Don't pass.
661 8 Mile Road, 4 p.m. sharp. You're going to be able to hear him sing every hit he got. Oh, you didn't know he had them. Only $20 in advance, $25 at the door, $30 for a VIP. Check it out.
Don't pass me by. Don't pass me by. Don't pass. Don't. We start passing out blessing. I don't want you to pass me
Hell,
by.
you know, this song takes me back to when I was a girl on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning, sitting in church. The deacons, if the deacons didn't do it, the mamas did. And it brings me to tears now, because every Sunday morning I'd hear this song, Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior.
Come on, man.
Me. Wait a minute. If you need God to do something for you, on this
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Lil Roy and Revelation. Yeah, May 28th, he will be in Detroit, 4 p.m. sharp. Not 4:01, not 4:02, 4 p.m. sharp. We're going to be celebrating Lady Sally Hamilton, 21 years. Lil Roy and Revelation is going to be there just like this. No, he ain't the only one that's going to be there. The anniversary of my man Wayne Todd is going to be there at Pastor Johnny Jordan today. They're going to be celebrating their anniversary today, but on that day, May 28th, they're going to be a part of it. Myron and the Galatians are going to be there. Stoop down and buckle up my shoe. They're going to be there. The dynamic, what is it, golden?
Gospel tones.
Yeah, gospel tones. I was finna say golden tones. How about that? And who else do we have on that show?
We got the right famous young man, Anthony Curry.
Anthony Corey. Gonna be off the hinges, y'all, 4 p.m. sharp. Detroit, this is not something you can afford to miss. The return of Lil Roy and Revelation is gonna be off the hinges, y'all. So it's right at 30 minutes after the hour. And for this last 30 minutes, I want to have a conversation. For the last 2 weeks, you know, we tried something different. I have a national platform on social media, a couple of national platforms on social media, where I am known to be one of the most noted and well-known, we call it vlogging, video blogging. And right now, I have been noted to be one of the most popular vloggers, voices now that represents the Quartet community. And so there's a lot of things that we talk about on my national platform. Thousands of people join in with me from all over the country and different parts of the world. And we have what is it?
Impromptu.
Yeah, impromptu conversation
Let
real-time
him hear you.
conversation. And if you've never experienced the Harold T Live on social media, I'm gonna tell you something. It's a totally different beast. But you can always check me out on Harold Turrentine or Harold T Live on Facebook. Yeah, just look up my name, Harold Turrentine, and you'll see all of my show's content on that page. I also have a show that comes on some of the biggest in the industry comes onto my platform in what we call Clubhouse. It's an app that you can download to your cell phone. All you got to do is go to your Play Store or your Apple Store, download Clubhouse. Once you download Clubhouse, all you have to do is set up your profile and then look up the Harold T Live. The Harold T Live. And I'm going to tell you something. Your life will never be the same. All you have to do is listen once. You'll never want to miss a show again.
Especially if you're nosy about what's going on in the
Oh,
world and in the industry.
oh, yeah.
Nosy people love the Clubhouse LT
Oh,
Live.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something. It is one of the biggest social apps for vlogging, bloggers, entertainers, some of the biggest in entertainment, some of the wealthiest people in the world share this app called Clubhouse. You need to get in there. You need to listen to what's going on around the country. So, and the reason why I brought that up is because this past week we had to deal with the situation that we had to deal with, and it was nationally known. My mom and Shirley Caesar was being featured as two primary artists on a show in Georgia as the headliner. And let me give you a quick backdrop. Quartet has always been known to be a male chauvinistic industry. In other words, it's been a male-driven industry. The primary popular artist for Quartet has always been that of males. It has always been said that the reason why men, are always at the forefront is simply because women love to buy tickets to go see men. And promoters all around the country has always felt that women are not efficiently deserving to be headliners or the primary pitchers or the primary artists on a card over men, because the ticket payers, which are primarily women, they only pay to see men, and so this has been generally a male-driven industry where men, you have the Clouds, you have the Cantons, you have Lee Williams, you have the Keynotes, you have the Jews, the Jackson Southernaires, the Dixie Hummingbirds, all of these males. And then you have very few like the Caravans. Well, the Caravans were never considered to be quartet per se. They were at one time called gospel, which had become what we now consider to be traditional gospel. So they never wanted to be categorized as quartet singers, even though they were basically like a quartet. But the difference between them is back in the day, quartet groups had primarily guitar, bass, drums, and then gospel or traditional artists that were not considered gospel, their driving instrument was a piano and or an organ. So that's a part of what separated the Caravans from quartet from the Mighty Clouds of Joy. Mighty Clouds of Joy had bass and guitar. Caravans had a piano. James Cleveland happened to be their primary piano player, musician at one time. However, it was not popular even though there was a lot of female groups out at the time, they were not popularly known. record labels was not signing a lot of female groups. Well, now, throughout time had changed. Well, one of the most popular in my era, in my time, during my lifetime, for that represented quartet was a young lady named Tutu and the Truthettes, right? They were teenagers when they first came on the scene. They were in the era when the Clouds, the Keynotes, the Jackson Southerners, the Mighty, the Jubes, all of those were primarily the male and popular males. Well, they were being featured as a young female artist, the Everadies, the Violinaires. They were one of the only females that were known, excuse me, who were popular recording artists, but they were teenagers. So they carried that torch throughout, mid 80s going into the early 90s. Well, throughout the 90s, you really had no one. You did have the Lumsey sisters who would sneak up, but they really never became that popular brand. But they were on a major record label called Air Records, which is another record company that my mother was on. During that time in the 90s, my mother was a recording artist, but when she became a major recording artist in the early 90s, she was not noted to be a quartet artist. She had signed to a major gospel label called CGI Records. Back then, we also had a choir, and I don't know who told this lie that Gloucester Williams had formed that choir. Let me get that lie straight. My mother, Evelyn Turrentine AG, formed a choir called War on Sin. Let me get that lie straight. My mother, Evelyn Turrentine AG, is the one that formed the choir War on Sin, right? So any and everybody that became a part of War on Sin, excuse me, stemmed from my mother. It was primarily, in the beginning, it started from the children of the gospel warriors. That's where it started from, because before that, she had a choir that was a part of a community base that she began, and she was in conjunction with Tommy Hearn's mother and what is that? King Solomon. And we called the choir King Solomon Minds. And it was a community. One that happened to be a part of it was different ones like, what's the organ player that used to play organ? Danny Howe's sister, Renee Howe, Renee Williams that sings lead for the Trumpets. She became a part of it. It was a community base, and different quartet children became a part of that choir. Well, when that choir fizzed out, Gloucester Williams came in and a part of my mother, introduced her as a solo artist to CGI Records. She released a record called In God's Own Time, and she also began to do compilations, and one of the compilations she was a part of, it was a CGI compilation that involved Paul Porter on one of the most popular songs he have called Two Wings, where my mom was featured on that same compilation doing a Caravan's song called I'm Willing to Wait. Yeah, Willing to Wait.
I'm willing to wait.
Right. So then Gloucester and her were talking, and she decided to put a choir together to record. And that recording choir, she went back to her group, the Gospel Warriors, and that's where the core of the members of War on Sin was developed through my mother, and the producer through my mother producing this recording choir called War on Sin, who went on to win a Stellar Award for Best New Artist of the Year. My mother had been nominated several times for her gospel record and had been a part of stellar nominations for the compilations. So my mother was a major recording artist back in the early 90s. Let's get that straight. All right? And my mother was also well known in the industry prior to becoming known in the turn of the century, 2000, for her record second release of God Did It. God Did It 2000 was not her first release of God Did It. She released God Did It on a LP, not an LP, a 45. Back in it was an LP.
No, it was an LP on Gospel Express Records from
Yes.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes. Back in
The
83,
first,
right?
album with the Gospel Warriors.
Yeah, that was around 83, 84.
1980.
1980. Oh my, wow. So then 20 years later, she re-recorded God Did It. And she did it on her own record label. And the distributor for that record label was the same label that introduced us to Keith Wonderboy Johnson and also Darrell McFadden. She was the second artist on that label. Well, my mother's song, God Did It, in 2000, and also Keith Wonderboy was the two primary artists that actually made that record label popular. Now, that record label has released some of the most well-known artists in the industry of today, such as James Fortune, such as Pastor Mike, such as Zacardi Cortez, Kim Burrell, and the list goes on and on. Well, my mother was one of the primary artists to propel. She had a deal. She was not an artist to that label. It was a label-to-label deal. She had her own label called Waltz Records, War on Sin. My mother is the creator of War on Sin. She named her record label War on Sin, which was the name of the choir that she organized back in the early 90s who won the Stellar Award for Best New Artist of the Year. See, these lies has been perpetuating down through the years that other people organized the choir, put the choir together. It was their choir. That's a big lie. My mother is the organizer of that choir. And she owns the right to that choir. And she got the Stellar Award sitting in her house because she was the organizer of that choir. And my mother is a Stellar Award winner herself. Now, in 2000, that's when my mother became the author, popularly known for the quartet song, God Did It. Prior to that, even though my mom came up singing quartet as a recording artist, if you go back and listen to her music was never quartet. It was gospel / traditional music. It was comprised of choirs and ensemble type of music. So she was not as a recording artist, recording as a quartet artist until 2000 when she on her own label released the record God Did It. And when she released that record got very hot, which she began to travel full time as an artist in quartet. Now, she was not just singing quartet. My mom went on to receive awards for various things such as the BMI Artist of the Year, which is big. She has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. She is respected across the board. She has sung with some of the greatest. She has great relationship with people like the Dorinda Clarks and so many others. She's very well known, very well respected around this country. And she is an international artist because she has traveled outside of the continents of United States. So a lot of this information people don't know. However, she had gone to become crowned in the Cleveland, Ohio market to be crowned the Queen of Quartet in mid-early 2000. And that's when it began to spread all over the country that she is the Queen of Quartet. Well, throughout her quartet professional career, she's always had to fight. Being blackballed or being overlooked, or because she's a woman, they would try to take advantage of her, try to lowball her. You know, we'll put you on this show, but we'll give you the lowest, payout. Now, her song, God Did It, was a #1 song that represented quartet for years. But promoters would use her because of her being a female and take advantage of her and try to pay her pennies while they give the male quartets the biggest dollar, but use her name and her likeness and her song to draw the crowds. Well, to bring it up to this moment, this time, there's a promoter who I consider to be a friend in Atlanta, Georgia, called my mother maybe 2 weeks ago. Hey, I want to put you on the show. I want you to make a guest appearance. I want you to just come. We love you. We want to celebrate. And I have a big show that's going to be, he do 2 shows a year, one in April and one in November. So for his November show, he wanted to book her. Hey, I tell you what, my budget is limited, but I tell you what, how about I just bring you without your camp, have you come do maybe a song or 2 at the most, but I primarily just want you to do God Did It. And I want to, my budget is only extended where I can offer you X amount of dollars. My mother was like, no, I can't do it for that. Well, can you do it for this? Okay, I'll do it for that. I'll come. I'll bring my tracks. I won't bring my full band. And you fly me and my assistant, cover me. I'll do a song or 2 just to make an appearance. Fine, that's great and good. That was the deal. No contract, no deposit at that moment. So then a flyer is released. Now, she was aware that Shirley Caesar was going to be on the joint. But when the flyer had gotten released that she was not aware of, this happens last week. The flyer has my mother and Shirley Caesar as the top 2 drawing influences of this particular event. They are the primary special guests. So they are the biggest 2 on this flyer: Shirley Caesar, Evelyn Turrentine AG, and the flyer says, "A Night with the Queens." The Queen of Gospel, Shirley Caesar, and the Queen of Quartet, Evelyn Turrentine AG. Also appearing, which is under them, the Cantons, the Mighty Clouds of Joy, Lil Roy and Revelation, and Sonny Brown and the Experience. Sonny Brown, who used to sing lead, the young guy, bald head, skinny guy, that used to sing lead for the Swanee Quintet. So these were the undercard. They were what we would call the fillers. The Cantons weren't over. The Canton wasn't on the big. I mean, the Canton were not the biggest on this card. The Clouds were not. Evelyn Turrentine AG, Shirley Caesar are the biggest 2. So now on social media where they released it, people began to get excited like, wow, this is getting ready to be a big thing. To have the queen of gospel and the queen of quartet, a night with Evelyn Turrentine Agee and Shirley Caesar. This is about to be big. Well, my mother not knowing that she is at the top of the card, because the deal that she made was a deal for her to just make an appearance and to just maybe sing a song like God Did It and maybe another song. Now, let me make this clear. God Did It ain't the only hit that my mother has. There is a song that's playing currently on radio that's been playing since 2014. It's called He'll Work It Out. My mother is one of the 3 only artists that represents quartet that's being played every day, at least 3 to 5 times a day on iHeartRadio. And if you don't believe me, go listen to iHeartRadio. Listen to different markets like St. Louis, Missouri, Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Mobile, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. It's about 12 to 15 markets that my mother's being played every day, at least 3 to 5 times a day. This song, He'll Work It Out. The only other artist that's being played as a quartetter is Lisa Noel Smith. And then they just added at the beginning, well, at the end of last year, Doc McKenzie, who has never been a radio hit. Doc McKenzie is one of the most popular artists that has never had a radio hit. In other words, a song that plays on radio that people are familiar with. Doc McKenzie, nationwide, has never had a song that was a radio hit, that hit the charts. He's never had that. But my mother, Evelyn Turrentine Agee, and Lisa Noel Smith are 2 that play on radio every day above all of the other male quartets. And to y'all, lack of understanding, you think the Cantons is the hottest. They're not. Memphis Live in 1, yes, it was noted to be the biggest record for quartet at one time. But now, in this time, there are 2 females who are the leading 2 artists that are being played on regular rotation daily on national radio. And that's Evelyn Turrentine Agee and Lisa Noel Smith. So this situation with that flyer, my mother, Evelyn Turrentine Agee, and also Shirley Caesar, a night with the queens, the queen of gospel, the queen of quartet. People begin to blow it up. Now, the show ain't until November. The promoter sends the flyer to Harold, me, excited. People are calling, man. They saying that this is going to be big. I send the flyer to my mother. My mother is like, wait a minute. This is not the deal that I made. Why is this on here? So then my mother sends a message to the promoter saying at this point, everything that we deal with goes through Harold. The promoter then reaches out to me and say, listen, we had a deal. I'm not changing the deal. The deal is final. Well, first of all, promoter, number 1, don't approach me like that. Number 2, ain't no deal final if there has never been a deposit made or a contract signed. And number 3, you had no business releasing the flyer without sending the flyer to Evelyn Turrentine Agee to get her approval on her face being on that flyer in the position. So you made a mistake. So now we need to renegotiate, because the deal you made with Evelyn Turrentine Agee to make an appearance versus the flyer you released on social media being the being a headliner, they don't match. She didn't make a deal with you to be the headliner. She made a deal with you to make an appearance. So the prices are different. Number one. Number two, my mother would never go to a quartet event with Shirley Caesar, the Cantons, the Clouds, Lil Roy and Revelation, and all of them having their band, and my mother come there with tracks. What kind of sense would that make? So what happens is the promoter was not willing to negotiate. So the only choice was take her off the flyer. Since she's been taken off the flyer. And there's been a lot of negative feedback, not against my mother, but on my mother's behalf. Mama, did I sum it up pretty well?
I think you told the whole story. More than the whole story. You told it, boy.
Well,
You
this
got
is
it
Mother's
right.
Day. I need people to understand how valuable my mama is now. In the industry, you understand?
Well, I appreciate that, but God has been good. And I say this to everybody, not just mothers, but I say today, you hold on to what you know is right and pure and good, and God will do the rest. He'll pay. But it is not without some hurts, some disappointments, some people who still don't appreciate that God is doing a work through you, but you keep doing what you do. And that's where I am now. As old as I am, an old lady, I'm still holding on. I'm still going on, and I ain't going to stop doing good and pressing forward. But I say this to promoters and others who are listening. It is time for us to exhibit some integrity, some honesty, some love for others, and not be so greedy and selfish and liars. In the gospel community, we got a bunch of liars and people without integrity and not honest and don't care about anybody but themselves. People, it's time. It's time for us to make some changes in the quartet community. I'm going to let that go, Harold.
None other than Evelyn Turrentine, AG. I just wanted to take that moment to let you all know that my mother is one special woman, and for years she's held her peace. She's been that easygoing individual. Now, my name is Harold, right? And if you look up that name, it means an army ruler, a mighty warrior. So she gave birth to a warrior. I ain't scared to fight. I ain't scared to stand up for what I believe is right. And Detroit, I want y'all to know this. A lot of y'all out there, man, y'all some messy individuals. I promise you. If I was on my social media show, I'll say it in another way. But y'all some messy individuals. I'm telling you. And you like to get a lot of mess started. And I said that because, here's the thing. Let me make this clear. And I'm going to say this again. Harold T. and One Voice are not there to cause any dissension, to cause any problems, to bring situation. And I know you don't like a lot of how I do what I do because you ain't used to it. You ain't used to a host standing up and saying what he need to say when it comes down to order or being out of order. You ain't used to that. And I understand. I respect that. But let me say this. Lady Sally Hamilton, Harold T. and One Voice, we are working together. Harold T. and One Voice are the organizers of May 28th. We went to Lady Sally Hamilton and we asked Lady Sally Hamilton, or we presented to Lady Sally Hamilton that we would love to celebrate her. Originally, she said, "You don't have to mention my name. I love what you're doing, and it can just be one voice. In addition to that, we had mutually with Lady Sally Hamilton decided, no, we want to also celebrate you. She agreed to it. That's how we put this event together. And today, I want to make it unequivocally clear, if any of y'all have any questions or comments, all you got to do is call me, my mother, Lady Ann Scott, or Sandria. But a lot of you ain't going to do it because you want to be messy. That's why you ain't going to do it. And you want to spread rumors. But I'm going to tell you this one thing, Detroit. If I ain't going to be nothing else, there's a scripture that says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. So let me tell you the interpretation of that. When somebody come to speak evil over my good, I'm going to defend my good over that evil. So all of that evil gossip that's being out there, that's been being said about Harold T. and One Voice position, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a big lie. We love Lady Sally Hamilton, and we're there to be a blessing to our community. And I will say, this is the first year that I've seen in many years Detroit having something going on almost every Sunday. It hasn't been like that in years. I do believe that Harold T. and One Voice has a lot to play with that. We don't mind working with any and everybody, and we extended the offer to do so. Whether one choose to or not is to their discretion. But it's not because we're there to be messy or we're trying to overtake or undercut anybody. But what I will not do is stand for anybody to use my good and speak evil of it, and I know about it. And I'm here to tell y'all, if I ain't gonna do nothing else, I'm gonna defend my good, Detroit. With that being said, the clock on the wall say that's all. We're going to let it go. Gil, thank you so very kindly for allowing us to have these couple of minutes over. I'll be back in Detroit. Mama going to be back in Detroit. And we're going to be on our way to May 28th. Y'all go over there and celebrate with my boy, Wayne Tide, and Men Who Will. Y'all have a wonderful day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. But this is my mother.
Together like this.
The hit that's being played on radio. As we get ready to leave,
This is a little song that Sister
happy Mother's Day to everybody. This been your boy, your brother from another mother, none other than the one and the only me, Harold T. I'm that second to the last baby of Evelyn Turrentine AG, that queen of quartet. Two things I want you to do today. I want you to keep it real with yourself and then keep it real with God. Until the next time, we up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Bye, y'all.